resuming regular business, I need a motion to designate official newspaper of the Evening Tribune out of Cornell. Amy? And
Second.
Don? Any questions on the Evening Tribune? Obviously, we all know the Wellsville Daily is no longer, so. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion is second to designate Steuben Trust and Community Bank as the official depositories for funds. Steuben Trust in Belmont, Community Bank in Angelica.
So moved.
Josh, anybody? Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to appoint the following officers: District Clerk Pam Winterhalter, Deputy Aaron Ostrander, District Treasurer Aaron Ostrander, Deputy District Treasurer Brittany Scholes, Tax Collector Devin Healy, and Deputy Tax Collector Brittany Scholes. Clay? Amy, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion for the appointments of the following external auditor, school physician. There's a list there. I'm not gonna read down through them, but it's the typical yearly appointments. I don't believe there are any changes there, correct?
Don't believe so.
Do I have a motion? Fred? Second, and Bev? Any questions? All those in favor? Opposed?
That was a question.
Yeah.
Not related to this, related to Carol, the car.
Yeah.
What is her capacity now? Is she part-time now, or?
She is, yes, she is, part-time CSE chair and CPSE chair. So she's working 140 days for the school year. That we've contracted with her already, and then we can add those as additional days for you guys needed. So, predominantly, it'll be 3 to 4 days a week, oversee the special ed department as well as the CSE requirements.
Okay, thank you.
I need a motion to appoint school attorney Hodgson Russ, also Osborne Reed and Burke, and Mike Finn of Wellsville as attorneys for the district. Josh? And Bev? Questions about that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Authorizations, need a motion, approve conferences, workshops, convention attendance would be approved by Brian. Aaron Ostrander would approve petty cash fund, the designation of single signatures on checks. And then Brian would also apply, sign, and submit federal, state grants and approve unpaid leaves. Amy?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approve the mileage rate of 58 cents per mile for the 2019-20 school year. Bud? Second?
No,
I got Fred's eyes first.
okay.
Any questions on the mileage rate? It's pretty standard. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approve the rate for cell phone reimbursement of $50 per month. Motion? Bev? Amy, second. Questions on that?
How many people do we have?
It went up last year.
Oh,
Yeah,
So
it was
this would
50
be the
last year.
second year for 50.
It's a good question, Fred. I don't know the exact number that we have. I wanna say
Like 15 or 16.
that use their cell phones regularly for work. Tori was the last one we added as someone who has access to them.
I think warrants for the next month. They're usually on there and they're all separate, and that's why I think it is 16 with Tori, because I think I counted them up a month or two ago, just because I was curious. Any other questions?
Who seconded that?
Amy? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. In your package, you had a list of the impartial hearing officers. I need a motion to approve that list. Josh? And Bev? Any questions on that list? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Appoint the CSE and CPSE committee. Carol McCarver as the chair, Brianna Nelson as the alternate. Members would be as needed, school nurses needed, parent reps would be Penny Shipman, and a representative from the municipality. Bev?
Second.
Huh? Any questions on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Appoint the audit committee, it'd be the board of, as a whole, as the audit committee for 2019 and 2020. Amy? Josh, thank you. Any questions on that?
Who does that consist of?
The whole board.
Oh, okay.
And it's one of the committees that used to be several members, and then, I don't know how many years ago, we've just made it the whole board. That way the auditors come in and present to the whole board, and that way there's no question.
Comes back down here.
Yeah. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Appoint designated educational officials. Appoint Brian Schmidt, superintendent, Brian Ed, pre-K through 6 principal, and Sarah Donlin, 7 through 12 principal, as the DEOs for the 2019-20 school year, which is needed for the SAFE legislation, which is the Schools Against Violence in Education.
So moved.
Bud? Any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Adopt standard rules of accounting. I don't believe they changed in years, but I need a motion.
So,
Bev and then Buddy. If there's questions, I'm sure Aaron would love to explain the standard rules of accounting at some point, but not today. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Authorize cooperative bidding. Cooperative bidding through the district clerk, district treasurer are to accept the bids. Fred? Any questions on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Authorize the superintendent to make all budget transfers to reserves as well as transfer monies to cover appropriate deficits as a result of year-end audit adjustments. Need a motion? Fred?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I'm sorry, were there any questions? Need a motion that it's resolved that the Board of Education and Genesee School District bond all school district employees by law. Bud? And a second? Bev? Questions?
can't make a motion to bond us.
You're indemnified, you're protected.
Did not know that. Didn't know.
You're safe.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
To a certain extent.
Thank you for passing that to a certain extent. We all are to a certain extent, let's be honest.
Adopt board policies and code of ethics, for the current school year 2019-2020.
So moved.
Don? And second, Bev? Any questions? This would precede the motion to come here in a little bit about the first reading, just so we're not confused. This is the policies as they are read right now. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Set rate of pay for long-term substitutes. Oh, this is just long-term,
This
okay.
is the same as it's been.
The same as it's been, yep. This does not involve the discussion that we had earlier.
So.
Bud and Josh. Any questions?
So. Let me see. So you made a change from this here, right?
This is,
Yeah, this
This
is just
says 11,
long-term.
right, well, this says 11 to 29 days, $100 a day.
Yeah,
That's
not accurate, yeah.
that's not accurate. This resolution is what
Right.
dictates for us
Okay.
the long term.
Yeah. Let's go 1-200.
Okay.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Authorize superintendent under the education law 913 to designate a position to examine employees in appropriate circumstances to determine their fitness to perform their duties. Amy? Brett? Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion for borrowing resolution, revenue anticipation note. I'll let you read it at your discretion. Hope you have already read that. Have a motion. Brad, and then any questions on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Designate voting delegate for the Allegheny County or August school boards. Also for the voting delegate for the state convention and an alternate for the state convention. So let me start by Catter August Allegheny School Boards Association. Need a motion for who?
Tim?
Thanks, Aim. I have no problem with that unless somebody wants to
I'll
jump.
do it. It's been a while since I've gone, so,
You wanna go?
and I'm gonna do it again.
Okay.
That's the second.
Then I won't have to do the
That's
school
delegate.
boards
Yes, the
association.
delegate.
The alternate, are you the voting delegate, Tim? Or
You
is
wanna
that-
go and vote? And I'll be the alternate?
Doesn't matter.
I'm putting Don down as the delegate and I'll go as the alternate. Get it
Don,
back in the
it's
swing.
Rochester this year too.
Oh.
Not in New York
That-
City.
This is the Cat Allegheny
Oh,
one.
you're talking
The
about
Cat
that, I'm sorry.
Allegheny,
Cat Allegheny.
yeah, yeah.
Now,
You like-
moving
you
on
like-
to the.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Moving on to
I've
the
done both.
state school board. It is in Rochester this year. I know Brian's already got several rooms reserved near the convention center.
Hoping to go something.
It's usually a pretty good time in Rochester. I know the last time it was in Rochester, I drove back and forth, but I don't know if I will this time. Anybody jumping out at the chance to be the voting delegate?
No, I can't.
Huh?
That's too bad.
I will sit for the meeting.
3 hours extra.
Yeah, the last one, I was at the one in Lake Placid and it actually wasn't as horrible as I thought.
One in Buffalo, no,
I'm sure.
we had some people soapbox at that one, let me tell you.
Is that the conference you danced around with the?
I'm gonna put
Yeah, that was a fun
Amy
conference.
down as the,
Learning Indian
Amy is
dance.
the alternate.
Okay.
Amy's the delegate?
I'll be the delegate and then
Oh,
Amy
okay,
can sit
alright.
as the alternate. In case something comes up. Alright, so I need the motion to approve Don as the voting delegate, myself as an alternate for Allegheny, myself as the voting delegate, and Amy as the alternate for the state convention for the 2019-20 school year.
Oh,
But that, all those in favor?
Any questions? Yeah, I was just, do you
Yeah.
have the dates for the Alley Cat?
Not yet. They usually come out. Paula Van Dyke's the one that usually lets us know.
Oh, so I'll get an email, and that's, my next unrelated question is, am I going to have access to the board email website
Yeah.
now? Okay,
Yeah.
who should I see, Pam?
I'm guessing,
Yes.
Okay.
I'm guessing as soon as we get back, we can get Jeff Leveni to,
Yeah, I think
Open
you're
it up.
still active.
I
with
can
your
bug
email,
'em.
honestly, but,
Yeah, I think you're selected on it.
No, I try to get on.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, that.
Yeah,
I'm
well-
nosy, I wanna
They
get
shut
on.
him right out?
I'll make a note for Pam, or I can reach out to
Yeah.
Jeff.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Authorize the principals to submit referrals to the Committee on Special Education.
Second.
John, thank you. Questions? Are the principals the only ones that, I mean, this is saying the principals are the only ones?
The lead evaluators, so myself and Paul are all, anyone who's evaluator in essence.
Can send somebody to the CSE, so.
Oh, I'm sorry,
just-
no, I'm sorry, I read the wrong one. Yeah, no, they're not the only ones. What you're doing is authorizing them the ability to do that.
Okay, which they wouldn't have a.
No, so typically, no, so a teacher can't send a kid to the CSE meeting. They have to, a
Really?
teacher can't make that, they can make a referral, but, and that referral
Okay.
would go through the process, but the principals have the direct authorization from this resolution to
To
go
make that
immediately
referral.
to go, we're gonna immediately host the CSE
Oh,
meeting.
gotcha,
The difference is the referral would be evaluated and then a CSE meeting would be determined.
gotcha,
Principals can say, no, we want a CSE meeting for this student.
okay, gotcha. Any other questions? All those in favor?